And inhale. Om Namo Bhagavate Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Angare Jugakare Satguru Sri Gurudev Namo Angare Namo Jugakare Satguru Sri Gurudev Namo Angare Namo Jugakare Namo
Satguru Namo Siri
Breathe. And Japa Saraswati, can we have our message?
Yes.
Can
It's
make them
a little bit bigger if I can.
Yes, please.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna try.
Okay.
If you need to leave before our normal hour, please let us know so you can be sure to be accommodated for our session. Here is what Baba Siddhi Chand and others is to know about our message today. He said that wording is important. Message: what happens with the banking system and why? Meditation: 1 minute heart pumping, 7 minutes heart breath. Lots of love, Siri Gian.
Okay.
Do we understand?
Say it again.
I said, do we understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Anybody else? Do you understand that?
I understand. We're getting messages about banking. Probably the economy and money and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's true. And maybe there's more. So stay with Baba Siddhi Chand, and he used others. And of course, that's from our, what do you call it? Our siblings.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think also, do you remember when we were all at that table and there was the Mother Mary and Saint Anthony and all of the ascended masters, and we were all there too?
When?
I feel like any of any of them can be helping us.
That's right.
Any of them. It's that same constellation of prayer.
That's right. Okay. So evidently, it's not only about these banks, it might be even more. Okay.
Okay.
But but all of them. Okay. Good. So now begin with, it will be 1 minute heart pumping and then 7 minutes heart breath. And begin. And now begin for heart breath for 11 minutes. And if you need notes, do that. Inhale. Breathe. Good. And now, Aagia Pal.
Yeah, Satnam. Okay, so I'm outside. I hope you can hear me okay. Um, I went through I guess a lot of uh I get went through a lot in 11 minutes with Baba Siri Chan and Soul.
I'm sorry, I actually gave you 7 minutes. Is that okay?
What did I say? I'm sorry. It was 11 minutes, right?
Well, I was in the wrong time because I gave you 11 minutes, but then on the message was for 7 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so Baba said to me, oh, actually, it was Soul. Anyway, said, are you afraid of me? Do you have fear of me? And of
That,
of what
Baba,
I'm sorry?
are you talking about Baba Chan?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
am I afraid of what Baba Siri Chan will say, or what exactly is my issue here? And what he explained to me is, in no uncertain terms, is that during these times, these post-apocalyptic, chaotic, and intense times, um, of course, fear is going to come up, and to be aware of it. Um, however, we and to recognize that fear will block our prosperity. It will block everything if we allow it. It's a tool of, um, for lack of a better word, the dark side. And he said is during these times, it's very, very important um, to remember our divinity. For me to remember that, and to affirm in more than ever before, affirm all that that means, to send it to the my life and to everyone else. um, the fear of financial insecurity has been something that comes to me and then goes, and I talk to my financial advisor and my friend at the bank, and um but the I the only way is not, for me, according to Baba Siri Chan, is not to operate from a space and a place of fear. And that as far as banking goes, or the financial industry, well, yes, maybe some, like annuities, 401ks, those kinds of investments may lose tremendous amounts. And of course, annuities, insurance companies like back annuities, and insurance companies may fail. They may fail, according to Siri Gian, yeah. And there'll be other insurance companies that could take up and the annuities. However, so I'm getting the kind of really, in my face, like, do not allow yourself to go down the what if all of these things happen, what if this, don't go down this way, is to affirm that we have a lot of very, very um, uh, good people with lots of integrity in the banking industry and elsewhere in the financial, and to send our affirmations to them so that what may threaten to come to pass um, can be averted, avoided, lessened, decreased. So that's so right. So because I, for one, can go down the rabbit hole, like, oh my God, what would happen if, like, and then I go into the space of, oh, Baba, Babaji, I, worked all my life to save all, da da da. How could this? You don't let this happen, please, Babaji. So, but he just is like very, and soul is us. Well, you, that's a vulnerability that the dark side is playing on for me. And this is not to say spiritual bypass it, like, okay, everything's going to be fine, da, da, da. No, be aware, pay attention. It says a lot of that. Pay attention. Um, Listen to the intelligent, wise people in your life. Listen to your financial advisor. Listen to your friend at the bank who's really knowledgeable. Even listen to your client who's a bank vice president. So, just listen to um and be like, stay on it. Don't spiritually bypass anything. And at the same time, do not go down the rabbit hole of fear and despair and oh my godness. And just, stay strong. Uh, and I'm saying this because this is what I'm grateful that I heard from Baba Siri Chan, because this is what I personally need to hear. And I'll end this by saying, the funny thing is, yesterday I took a day trip to Westerly, Rhode Island, to Watch Hill, which I used to hang out a lot, because the ocean was beautiful, the beach is beautiful, and there's not many people, and so on. But Watch Hill happens to be, it felt like to me a portal into a different world. Everywhere you look are mansions. If you want to stay at the Ocean House, it's about 15 to $2,000 a night. There are yachts all over the place, and I walked around, and people were fun, nice. They're nice people. There's nothing wrong. But then I thought to myself, wow, there's a culture here of money, 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 more and more and more. And there was a time when I that did not bother me. I mean, I just like, okay, that's what it is, and I'm happy and so forth. And now it was like into a different world. And so I guess I wanted to share that because it rubbed me the wrong way. It certainly did rub me the wrong way. Where I spent my time with my puppies um, is on the beach, and that's a leveler, and the ocean, and that was, and when the riptide, there was riptides there, so you know you have to swim like parallel to shore and then so forth. So, but anyway, that's what I wanted to say is that uh, I guess the bottom line is for me from Baba, live a simple life, live a simple life of giving and receiving, and abundance is yours. And I must affirm that, affirm it in all ways. And, you know, prosperity, well, that's abundance, but also having people in my life is also abundance. People that love me, that, you know, my puppies that love me, that's all abundance. So, anyway, worrying about the banking system is coming from not a place of abundance. I'm afraid it's negating the that. But as I said, Bubba said, you know, just you know, be aware. Don't fall asleep. Stay, be yeah. Don't fall asleep on this. Stay attentive, but don't go down a rabbit hole. Um, I think that kind of, you know,
No,
and also the last, and also know where I'm coming from, which yesterday was a lesson, and that is that's not for me. You know, I'm happy with a little log cabin, if you know, a little simple, and um whatever is, you know, is enough, and wanting to help. There's so many requests for help, you know, like on Facebook and so forth, and I do what I can, and it's just I'll continue to. So, yep. So that's that.
okay.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, dear.
Do you have any questions?
Uh, Anybody here? Okay.
Usually they help to clarify me anyway.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, good.
So, okay. So you were talking about using uh, about these financial systems.
Yep.
And is it by time? Is it keeping up um, with the time? Is there an end, or is there just ongoing?
Uh, well, nobody seems to, you know, nobody can really look into if this is what you're asking. No one is looking into the future. My friend at the bank is like, well, if you do a CD now, it's 3.5% for 6 months, but you don't know what's going to happen after 6 months, and so on and so forth. So no, so he's certainly not, that guy is certainly not, you know, saying, oh, you need to do this because that's going to happen. My financial advisor, whom I've known for years at the university, and now, you know, afterwards, whom I'm going to meet on Monday, she invests everything for me. So I have quite a few questions for her in terms of how she's going to do that. You know, she sells stuff, and then yeah, I have no, I just trust what she does. And, but she also, you know, well, I suppose she does look into the future. She did, because I told her I wanted to do an annuity, lifetime annuity. And she goes, no, not now. You got something in a CD, keep your CDs, don't do anything. And that tells me a lot about her, because, you know, she obviously would take a percentage of if I did an annuity, and obviously not if kept keeping a CD. But so she is on and I'll talk to her on Monday too. But I think she's very cautious about what could possibly happen, and doing what she can. Uh, Again, a person of high integrity. And then, as yeah, I don't know what people that have millions, I can't even like contemplate. I get my mind around, like Taylor Swift up at Watch Hill. She's sitting on 30 million, and Sandra Bullock on 20 million, and this other guy. Oh, and who's the guy? Anyway, he has a $30 million yacht. I think he's the guy, Zuckerberg. Yeah. I can't even like imagine that. I mean, I don't even want it. That's why I think a lot of people give away their money. But so what's my point? So anyway, neither of my people that I've spoken to, um, pretend to tell the future, but all are very cautious.
Okay. And in other words, what would Baba City Chan do? And what does happen?
What would Baba Siri Chan do?
Yeah.
Uh, he he's showing me he sits and waits. He sits and watches. He sits and in like there's a deeper knowing that he has. I'm not sure I am, privy to it. He hasn't mentioned it, but he's, I get this message: keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it slow, keep it slow. Because I can go from 0 to 60 in like a nanosecond. So go slowly, and that's what he would do. It's like not he's so tuned in that he's a very stabilizing force for me, I think, to just to keep steady going forward, paying attention, um and affirming with lots of affirmations our divinity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. So, Gian Das Prem.
Satnam.
Satnam.
Yes. So what happens with the banking system and why? I managed to write down a couple of things on it first. Fair and quality.
Say it again.
Fair
Where?
and quality. And the mission of freedom and equality. And when we look at the history and the source of where money comes from its imprinting, its forging, its the planting of the idea and the sowing of that idea, and how it normally comes and ends with cycles. Yet it has, and this is the message for me, is to let go of that negativity of that way, of that, my opinion of the negativity of money, for how I see it as a means of separation. Um, and noticing that technology has a better way of us to receive our services. For instance, if we needed to go to the hospital, we could just go to the hospital. And then moving around with the freedom. And for me, it's just coming, because when we look at all these examples through history, and Baba Siri Chand, evolved beings, those sitting around the holy fire, the clouds that rain down on us, and these way showers, what it is that it is. The freedom that's coming through, that quality of that, allowing this breath and this air to grow us, to expand us, to limit us in certain ways during our challenges. And we have all of these examples of throughout history of the ways of, the use of the monetary systems, and the source, and where does it come from? Where did it originate? Back to that way of noticing what it creates when we come to a place where it's not solving anything. In other words, we have so much trust around it that we've lost some of our communication, and the way of the modern times of having billions of people, and with the media, we're able to see all of this way of the numbers, of the markets, of the exchanges, and the fairness in that trade, that we call fair trade, or how it's spoken and then how it's written. So for me, it's just coming back into the softening of what am I using here in order to be here, and then that sharing, and no hiding while dividing.
Say it again.
No hiding while dividing. So if, don't hide it, divide it. So if there is something that we can share with our helping one another, then come, if we can come out from that, that pain of knowing what we've been through in the past, of the holding back of, let's say, power or communication that causes others to physically become ill, or in a situation where they don't have proper housing or food. And there's so many examples, and today is August 6th. It's the anniversary of Hiroshima. So, there's a lot of examples of how we use, different sources of energy against each other. And we're here at a point now where, we've kind of been tipping anyway, right? Or if we notice how balanced we are with nature, and that nature has this immense, power over our being, that it supplies us with all of these sources that we have here to create what we have. But the food's right there pretty much all the time. And noticing the power of this technology, this human technology, as being really the ultimate technology to sit with. And this is also part of my opinion, but when we look in there and we're breathing, or we're relaxing, and we're coming into that healthy part of our love where we're showing that, you know, and there is so much opinion in there sometimes that escaping that ego and all of that, it does allow us a brain power, like a little bit more up there, the Shushmina or whatever. And looking on that machine that we have that we're working with in this ultimate technology is so cool to be with. And at the same time, you know, there's a lot of flip flopping and the mom and popping type of thing, you know what I mean? Where let's look back and let's see, how things are going, where we're moving with this is, can we give up? Can us men say, we're not going to fight anymore. We're going to try to release, our sadness through this way of love. And yeah, and sort of have a way to just lay those ideas of that weaponry down. And it's still my opinion, but it's something that's been with me ever since I was a child. I just and still cannot understand that separation and that coming to a way of force that separates our, this mission that we're the learning for the freedom and the equality of, merging into that earth and the sky energy, and that coming into the whole person of that way of accepting that extreme responsibility. And there are choices that we have that when we come to this way of being that, yeah, maybe we don't want that 300-mile-an-hour car, or maybe we drove it before, even then when we had one, and now we decided, hey, maybe I can see these ways of happenings that, wow, that's really a part of my responsibility. And then that's why certain people come to that day when they say, okay, wow, oh my God, I have a lot. Oh, whoa, I have a lot. And during this time, there's been a lot going on, and plus the history and the archaeology, and it's like the Akashic records. It's sort of like, we're a part of a hill that you look at and say, wow, is that something there? And then there's a new discovery, something they discover, an 11,000-year-old civilization that lived on the other side of the earth while they were building pyramids, and they were nearly doing the same thing. And that's so okay. And here we are. Yeah. So we are becoming smarter, and that will allow us to become, I think, better at sharing, and coming back to that way of noticing throughout the history. And yeah, with the no hiding and no dividing, especially here in this country. I mean, look at this place and the history of it. Grace, please come back to my face, but I have to look at the whole human race for this place, because whoa, there's a lot of stuff that's written, and then people come out, and now with the media, they can just say anything that, hey, I can, okay. So bless us all in that, holy way of being here freely as a gift, and to say, we have to do, if they're coming at us, hey, I don't mean any harm to you, and there is a way, there is a way. So stay in that courage and that way of being, for that love to come out, through all of us. And hopefully the imprint of history will allow us to forge into this new way of being, of accepting this freedom, and this allowing us to all sort of, know that we're within the same family, but we're all going through a different story, because we've, come so far to be where we are here today. So Waheguru. Kabir's song, though.
Okay.
Kabir's song. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Okay. So now what about Sahaj?
Satnam, good morning. I am not effectively tuning in this morning. I just got back from Oregon last night after being gone for almost a month, and I'm settling in. So maybe I can just be an angel today, or maybe come back around a little bit later.
Oh, okay. Wait a little more. Okay, Sat
Thank you.
City.
Satnam, Satnam, Satnam. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Wow, the shares have been so wonderful so far. Okay, so there's a movement, and Soul had a lot to say. So it starts one place and ends in another. Fear. Your soul adventure over the last month was a crash course boot camp in addressing and conquering fear. A gift for you like tantric in New Mexico, winter solstice, where you must stay present and not run away from the fear. And I just remembered fear, false expectations appearing real. Anyway, so Soul said, what did you learn from this experience? Acceptance, trust, allowing, and your and a recognition that I have the tools. Remember Satnam Zion and the practices. Soul said, you were gifted with decades of training. Remember women's camp. Remember solstices, winter and summer. Remember, I sent Sadhakar and Guru Tej to Pittsburgh to teach you and the Sangat there. So I don't know why this number, October 6th, is the anniversary of Hishima. That was, sorry, no. So then it's get to work. I have a deadline for you. I want you to give a report to this group next week and explain to them where exactly you're teaching and how many nights or how many classes you're offering, you're doing. Work up to 3 or 4. So, and then it was like, don't forget, Smock is right up the street, and that will be a beautiful yoga studio for you to work. Smock is South Middlesex Opportunity Council. They have the most gorgeous building at the bottom of my street. Just a gorgeous contemporary building, and they're always looking for programming. So now I'm going to go back to Soul Conclusion. You must go deeper into your daily practice. And remember, I told you, Sat Kriya in the morning and So Darshan at night. That's it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Okay.
perfect, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so happy to be here.
Okay.
The fear boot camp was kind of tough.
Yes, it was. Okay.
That was the other thing I just see as a note that we all need to. Soul was saying you can now teach people that they can forget grudges.
To do what?
To forget grudges and forgive and to forget painful past. Stay focused on the present and what we're trying to build for future generations. No more past. Forget. So that's it.
Yeah. Because, excuse me, because Baba Siddharchan has told us that we need to let go our karmas.
Mm.
And that's what you're talking about.
About.
Okay, so be very aware. And we can use, what is it? What is it? What are those F and F or F? What was it? Japa Saraswati? It was either heart breath and forgiveness,
Yes.
frequency of
Frequency of
forgiveness,
forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Thank you.
and Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
Mhm. Good deal. So keep up with that and let
And
go.
so give a report next week. So keep me accountable, please.
Say it again.
Please keep me accountable because it was direct instructions to report next week of
Oh,
action on the
okay.
ground.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
But no.
Okay. Sahaj, are you ready?
I can go. I can go, Siri Gian. This is Japa Saraswati. I feel like Sahaj needs more.
Okay.
Um. Oh, are you ready?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't know how. Um, so as I was sitting here saying, I'm giving myself the morning off because it's not coming easily, and I'm easily distracted. I kind of relaxed into it, and I saw two things. One is I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Harry Potter movies, but there's a scene in one of them. I think it might be like the first movie where
Of what? What
the
what
the
movie?
the Harry Potter movies,
Oh,
and you know those are all about the light forces and the dark forces and all of that. Um, but they're trying to figure out what it something's coming, and it's a battle in the darkness and all of that stuff. And anyways, the kids are looking, and Harry sees this line of spiders, and they're all exiting the building, and he gets curious, and he goes and he follows them, and something eventuates. I don't know, there's a giant spider, it's all part of the story. But what I was meant to see was like, there are always people who know. The world seems really uncertain to us. Anybody that knows anything about economic systems knows that we're way overdue for a shift, a big shift, if you know anything about currency, etc. But what I was getting was, there are always people that know. And so I saw like that line of spiders. And the other thing is, I saw how, you will sometimes see lately people doing exposés on what stocks they're selling or buying. And so what I'm getting, oh shoot, I turned something on to cook. See, I'm not too with it this morning. Put a naked pan on the stove. Because partly for me this morning, I was trying to just get past the anxiety about, slender resources disappearing, like banks failing, blah blah blah, and just getting past my fear of that kind of thing. And I felt really peaceful when I saw the line of spiders. I understood it was telling me, and seeing that thing with like the Congress people, that was like, there are people who know. There are always people who know what's going to eventuate.
Yeah.
Just watch, just watch, and stay tuned, stay attuned. And as soon as I saw that, I felt my body relax. So maybe that's not a solution, but it's a way of being with this possibility. And that's what I've got today.
okay. So that's what so that's very interested in about like uh, letting go of the dark spider, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it's very interesting because and that's another interesting aspect of it now that you ask, because the spiders, there was, one of the characters has a lot of fear around spiders or whatever. And Harry just watches it as a phenomena. Something going on. Why are all these little spiders going out? And eventually they do come to this giant spider in the woods, which is something that is feared by a lot of people, but it turns out it's not really something to fear. It's actually an ally in many ways. It's like, so that's very interesting now that I think about it. So it's like, you're just watching the signs in a state of neutrality. Like you could watch the spiders and be afraid of them, or you could be curious, like, what is this? This is not a natural phenomenon. I've never seen this before. But spiders are natural beings. They know something. Let me follow where they're going and see what eventuates. Like, what do they know? They know something.
Mm-hmm.
And they're creatures of nature. So they're not doing something against their nature. What do they know that I don't know? That's kind of the thing. Is just be curious.
Curious.
Okay. So you're talking basically about, what are you talking about? Of knowing actually from the dark. Is that right? Letting go. And
I
just,
think very much just letting go of judgment.
mm-hmm.
Good, bad, light, dark, whatever. We're simply observing. And then there'll be a subtle clue, like the spiders all lined up and exiting the building. That's unusual. That's not what we would ordinarily see in the natural flow of this, but they're creatures of nature. What do they know? I'm curious. I just want to know. I'm not afraid. I'm not judging because I know I don't know. So I watch for signs. And
Mm-hmm.
then I ask questions, just like you asked me this question. So it's leading me into a different place. And that's the way I find. I watch and I ask questions, and often the answers are there when I ask the question. I don't necessarily know it, but I'm observing. Then I ask, and oh, to my surprise, there's an answer. Then I might ask another question, and it will lead me somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because also the future's a bit volatile. It's not a fixed trajectory. So there's so many factors, which is why we also have to wait. I'm feeling this sense of like standing on a paddleboard where you can be, the board itself is stable. You yourself can be stable and really enjoy being on the water, which itself is moving all the time. So you have to always be making these little micro adjustments. Your feet are making all these tiny micro movements and adjustments so that you remain stable and you feel stable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
It
And
always comes eventually.
okay. And as I remember, there was about Yogi Bhajan, and you can say it better. Uh, the problem is always the answer. Do you
Huh.
remember?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, what was that?
That's not one
Is
I'm
it
pulling up. What do you
is
got,
it
Saraswati?
is it that the poison is planted next to the cure? Is that it?
Or maybe the problem contains the solution.
It
Yes,
does.
here you go.
The
That's it.
problem contains the solution.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you all. Okay. Now, okay. Now we also have said from Angel. So this will be fine.
I think it's my turn because we can't ask angels to talk. And I want to say the first thing I want to say was that I was really moved, Sahaj, by your description of the being on the paddleboard, because that's what I really feel like yoga is when you're holding a steady posture. It is just constant micro movements and adjustments to make it look like a static pose, when in reality it's incredibly dynamic. And I have struggled so many times to say it as well as you did. And I feel that sort of dynamic engagement just to remain steady in the swell of these times.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
That's
Can I just
actually,
quickly say, I think that was my son popping in with that image because he's also the one I paddleboarded with.
oh, cool. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Japa Saraswati.
well, the first thing I saw from Baba, and I don't remember if this story was about Baba Siddhi Chand specifically, or if it was about Babaji, the other Babaji, or the other Babajis, if you know what I mean. But um, Baba had this disciple who like had been his disciple for ages and ages. We're really talking like many years. And the disciple was about to like take the next step in becoming kind of Baba's protege, like taking on a fully monastic and spiritual life. And um and you know, he didn't really totally know it yet, but Baba gave him this vision one night of just the most sumptuous feasts, like just tremendous feasts in a palatial setting, and women and men dressed in all of their finery, and just the most uh, lavish evening that you could possibly imagine. And really, as I remember, the story went on and on with the riches of the evening, and then in the morning, the devotee woke up and was like, "Whoa, what was that?" Like, what was that? And then Baba told him that it was, you know, so that he could have sort of one last go. Not just that, he said that that he knew that someplace in the man's heart he'd always wanted that, um, and that he wouldn't feel right about he would never feel right about devoting himself to a spiritual life without having had that. And so now he got to really live it up that night to see if it was, yeah, to give him the experience so that he would know. And I think that by the end of the evening the man was quite exhausted, so he was really blessed with a spiritual life thereafter. He was Bubba's protege, and the two of them are I don't know how to put it, but they are together. And it was the same feeling that I got from that feast that we were all at with Saint Anthony and the Archangel Michael and the Mother Mary and Mother Teresa. It was that exact same feast table that we were all at, and that was the feeling that I had of that. It was just really wonderful. And then comes the message from him. But I'm feeling the um oh, I'm gonna skip on my notes. I'm feeling the irritation at the ports of trade, um, that these ports are bringing in weapons and commodities, human trafficking and drugs, and all kinds of things. I mean, the things that we need to keep our life going, like oil and like clothes, but also uh, the majority of the things that come in and out of trade ports is illicit, is part of what he showed me, that like something or another is illicit about what's coming in, with the majority, not the minority of the stuff. The majority of the stuff, there's something illicit with it. And that part of that, that there's irritation at the ports of trade. And I feel it's irritation. That's part of why, like, somebody's like, oh, I'm going to increase my taxes to counteract your taxes increase. Well, I'm going to do it's this retaliatory, sort of irritated, reactive as opposed to action, but reaction, that these people are feeling very itchy, and that itchiness spreads through the body of the whole system, so the people at the heads of the body, I saw the brain is irritated, I saw the skin is irritated, I saw the organs irritated, that all of these parts are getting irritated in the body of our economic system, and that they are going to shut down because they can only process so much bile. Um, and yeah, that this is a microcosm, that what's happening on the inside of our trade ports is a microcosm of what's happening for the heads of state, these heads of state that are incredibly frustrated and irritated with working with one another. And oh, and so then, yes, so I feel that there's going to be a constriction in more ways than one, that the weather is going to play a factor as well. And then I told Baba, I said, there's nothing holy in not getting one's needs met, Baba. um, and, um, and, I do really feel I'm afraid of doing the spiritual bypassing of saying that, like, the tapas make us stronger, because also some people die of starvation. Um, so, um, I'm so part of so then what else Baba said to me, which was, please forgive my tongue in cheek, but he said that I'm an ever loving genius, and he meant ever loving, like, my first instinct is to give, 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 give. And the genius part, he meant that, like, I have this exceptionally developed nervous system that is so incredibly sensitive, that I feel sensitivity for foreign ports, like thousands and thousands of miles away, in my little body here in Millis, Massachusetts, like they are not separate. And he showed me to be in Maine as much as I can, to keep myself with a low profile, um, to not get fed into the irritation. He also showed me to root down, to be like, I've been having beet juice, beet and carrot juice in the mornings, putting other things with it, oranges, pineapple, mango, all kinds of other things going with it. Ginger, especially ginger, going with it, to root down. And he also showed me the meditation for prosperity, which has the tantric har in it. Do you guys know it? I am in the car, so I really don't think I can show you with the steering wheel and holding the phone. But
The
you
one
may
where you hit your hands together, like at the,
yes,
so you're aligning your index finger, you tap them, and then you flip your hands, and then tap along
yes,
your pinky finger back and forth. Hud, hud,
hud,
hud,
hud,
hud.
hud. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. He showed me the tantric har with exactly that cupping motion, and and uh and then also, like, as Aagia Pal was talking about abundance, look for abundance everywhere. I literally looked up, I'm at a park right now, and I'm kind of like behind the ball field, and there's a huge bush that I saw it's a blackberry bush filled with red underripe berries and tons of black golden black juicy berries all over the place. And and so then I'm on the next page of my notes. So I saw also doing spinal flex to keep the spine juicy and youthful. In that way that we will be able to really ground down. It's going to help with our grounding because that really is the Shushmana. I also saw, I hope that the angel is Jagat Gurukar because I saw breath walk, which I don't know if you guys know all about it, but it's when you walk and you ground down intentionally through each footfall. And you can use mantra, but you're really like focusing on the grounding, and then you visualize the energy coming up the one leg on the inhalation on one step and out on the other side on the exhalation on the other step. And you can use like a repetitive mantra, whatever floats your boat. Um, there are a number of mantras that really fit it well. And so I saw that for grounding down. And then so this blackberry bush, there was this beautiful little birdie that I'd never seen this kind of bird before. It was like a chickadee, but smaller, and it wasn't the right coloring. The reason I noticed it at first was it had a bit of a red stripe on its head, and then I was so fixed on this red stripe, I was looking at its body, and I saw the body. I thought it was like a taupe color, like a grayish taupe colored body, but then the longer I looked at it, it became like an iridescent, an ultraviolet color. And I'm looking at this bird and I'm like blinking my eyes. I've never seen this color before, ever. And I'm blinking my eyes looking at this bird. And then all of a sudden it occurs to me that I am seeing birds see in ultraviolet. I'm seeing the bird the way that it sees itself. I'm seeing the bird in its like natural state. And what I felt was that growing in consciousness and that growing in oneness with the rest of humanity and even in birds. Like now I have a little bit of bird consciousness with me today. And that's part of, oh, so also there are some strikes coming up where people are abstaining from using money and currency on particular days. I think one's coming up on this Saturday, and then I think there's another one coming up like later in April. Sorry, later in August. And I myself plan to participate. I can't encourage anybody else to, but they're basically abstaining from doing economics for a day, to let the powers that be know that we object to what's going on with the steamrolling of the government, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's really righteous. I love the idea. Oh yes, also voting with your dollars. Like myself, when at the last election, I stopped using Starbucks, I stopped using Amazon, and I stopped using Whole Foods. And everybody makes their own choices, but like I just realized that they had crept way more into my sphere than I wanted. And and I was like, wow, I don't like the way that these people are behaving, and they're not going to change the way that they're behaving. I don't want to support them with my economic support. I don't want to support them with my dollars. I would rather support the local coffee shop and the small the small health food store and and the small downtown retailers as I'm able to. And that was I guess also like the being conscious. Also what Aagia Pal said about being vigilant, like being, well, that's what I felt about what Sahaj was saying with the paddleboard, is that it's going to take that kind of micro adjustment and vigilance and preparedness, to be strong and integral, and even just to maintain that static posture. Just to maintain the static posture, we're going to have to be putting in um, the work, and that is yoga. That is yoga. That's what we're doing, my friends.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. And so you all no fear and stay with micro, what do you call them? Change.
Adjustments,
Say it again.
micro adjustments.
Yes, that's good. Okay. And that's what truth is about. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so Gian Das Prem, can you lead our song?
Certainly. So we'll take one deep breath together. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Inhale. And love you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Love you. See ya.
Sanam.
Yeah,
Bye,
that's
everybody.